Here we go in 2019, the first of our 13 Ingalls SoCon Game of the Week for you. So happy to have you on board wherever you're tuned in tonight. Horton kicking away. And Durden will bring it out. Looking for room right side, and he has it. 25-30. Room on the far sideline.
House call.
Chancey's going to take it all the way. One man to beat, and finally taken down at the end of the play. David Durden from 2 yards into his end zone, and Quentin Thames of Western Carolina prevented that from going all the way to the house. What a start to 2019 for Mercer. So after the 84-yard kickoff return by David Durden, 3 plays later, Riddle throwing a blooper, it looked like, and somehow Tyree Adams, the running back, was there to pull it in, take it on into the end zone. So a lot of thunder and lightning early on for the Mercer Bears, Jared. The kickoff return by Durden inside of the 20, and then 3 plays later, a touchdown in their first offensive series of the year. So a 1st and 5 now at the Western Carolina 32. The Bears scoring in 3 plays early on and firing over the middle, and finding Durden is Riddle, and Durden into the end zone. And just like that, 2 quick touchdowns for the Mercer Bears.
2 quick passes. Great job by Robert Riddle looking over the middle. And as you can see, the middle of the field was wide open. So fantastic job by understanding the coverage that was given and exploiting the defense at their weakness. 32
yards on the scoring strike. Riddle last year, 6 touchdown tosses in 3+ games, and he's got 2 here tonight. A looper he threw to his running back, Devison, and now that was a bullet right over the coverage of Western Carolina. Robert Riddle and company unable to convert on 3rd down in their last couple of tries. Throwing and intercepted. And this time Brandon has it. And there he goes.
Pick 6, baby. Nice. Wow.
The first score of the year, and I think Western Carolina fans would tell you, ironically, comes from their defense.
I tell you, great job of seeing it through, being able to, have the focus, because even though the ball was kind of tipped, and he had to kind of focus and dial in. As you see on this replay, Robert Riddle kind of looking down the whole time, jumps on the route, great focus, sees it in the whole way through, and then, hey, get off of me. House call, 6 points.
Riddle 5 out of 11 in that opening quarter, and keep in mind he completed his first 3 tosses, this time over the middle, and he has his man, and off to the races is Tucker Cannon. Another big play for the Mercer Bears, and they strike again.
Wow, great play, great route by the wide receiver. And I'll tell you, the middle of the field, when you have 2 safeties deep, the middle of the field is where you want to identify and try to exploit the defense as much as possible. As you see here, he goes right there, great pass, great route, and obviously great finish of getting into the end zone. Robert Riddle he's kind of getting in the zone, and he's putting points on the board. If you're Coach Lamb, that's exactly what you want to do. You want to come in here, put points on the board, and try to settle down your team and give your defense a little bit of a reward for containing such a fantastic player in Tyree Adams.
85 yards on that Robert Riddle to Tucker Cannon touchdown. Extra point try on its way, and good. Scored in its first 2 possessions, went into a bit of a lull offensively, but trying to add on here after that big strike to Cannon to start the second quarter. And Johnson has room around the far side, and he's off to the races.
House call.
DeAndre Johnson, the redshirt freshman out of Reidsville, Georgia, his first collegiate game, and that's a sprint to the end zone for him, building on this lead. And the Mercer Bears now get their first rushing touchdown of the ball game.
The great job by the big fellas up front, and also great job by the wide receivers doing, blocking downfield, holding their blocks. As you see here, he was able to cut it up, bounce it outside, and then turn up on the sideline, and you're not catching him once he gets to the sideline. Fantastic job by everyone putting a hat on a hat, and house call, touchdown, 6 on the board.
Catamounts just 2 out of 9 so far tonight on 3rd down tries. Pump fake, Adams fires, caught in stride, Patton, 15, 10, 5, and he's in, touchdown. Patience of virtue that time for Tyree Adams.
I tell you, Tyree did a fantastic job. His first option wasn't there. And so what does a great athlete like himself do? He extends the play. He's able to roll out, be able to survey the field, see where his next option was, and made the right throw. And his guys did the rest of the work and put the ball in end zone. Great job.
Mercer just 1 out of 6 on third down tries in the game. And Riddle going to look long, and he fires it deep for Durden in stride.
House call. Oh.
Did he get across? Touchdown.
Wow.
Another 64-yard play. We saw the Bears get a run of that distance. Now Riddle to Durden on another touchdown pass for the QB.
He knew where he wanted to go the whole time. He kind of looked him down, and Durden did a fantastic job running his route. I'm not sure where the safety was on that play, but Durden did a great job of seeing the ball the entire time, and great strength to kind of get across the line of scrimmage to get all the way to in the house for a 6 on the board. And now,
the previous play is under review.
Looks like they're going to review it now, Pete.
Reggie Jones was the defender who Durden may or may not have dragged across the goal line. And here's another look, and great job first off, I guess, by Durden to get behind the defender.
Yeah, safety was definitely, he got caught looking the wrong way. And, when you're the last man of defense, your job is to help your teammate at that particular situation. He didn't get back, and in result, Durden was able to get behind the defense, which is why he was able to bring that in. But it looks like he may have been down before the ball crossed. What do you think?
Does the knee hit? Does he possess the ball as it crosses? I think they're not going to have enough to overturn it based on that angle.
Yeah.
Well, give Jones credit, all he could do, although it looks like actually his right hip.
After review, the runner's hip was on the ground and the ball was at the half-yard line. The results of the play is 1st and goal at the half-yard line.
Senior receiver and Stefan Huza, and now Durden and others have opportunities to shine, and Devison, the guy they refer to as the bowling ball, gets across for his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 1st on the ground. Fake handoff, Adams, pressure coming, and intercepted. Receiver went one way, the ball went the other, and taking it back is B.J. Bowler with room to run, and only one man to beat Adams. And Bowler knocked out of bounds just shy of the goal line. They'll say he went out near the 3. B.J. Bowler had a couple of interceptions last year. He was one of the leaders for this Bears team that didn't do a great job forcing picks. But a big one returned all the way inside the 5, a 73-yard run back for the Bears cornerback.
Sorry about that.
I think that was DeAndre Johnson,
yeah,
actually.
DeAndre Johnson.
I was thinking Devison based on the side. They'll play action this time, and just a little flip to Chris Ellington, the tight end. That's the easiest toss that Riddle's had today. Ellington wide open, and the senior out of Jacksonville able to get another touchdown on the board for the Mercer Bears.
Everyone is biting because they're thinking it's going to be a run, but there you just sneak the tight end right out behind the entire defense. Easy throw and catch, touchdown on the board. I tell you, Pete, what Mercer's come in here and they've really applied pressure on the offensive standpoint, and defensively they're playing a fantastic job of containing Tyree Adams, which is one of the big things that we were questioning coming into this game.
So a 2nd down and 5, and this march that we're seeing now is really unlike anything we saw out of the Mercer offense in the opening half. They didn't have to have any sustained drives because they so often were striking with big plays. Well, how about one from Devison, who already has a couple of TDs in the game? As he crosses the goal line, a flag is thrown, and the Mercer Bears build on their lead. A 2nd rushing touchdown in the game and a 3rd in the contest by Tyree Devison.
I think we got a face mask on the defense on this one. So I think this touchdown is going to stand. But all around, this has been just a pure offensive clinic. I mean, the offensive line just blowing people off the ball. You've got Devison just finding the gaps, making his offensive lineman look great. You got wide receivers that are catching, tiptoe passes on the sideline. Offensive clinic so far for the Mercer Bears.
Here's our referee, Larry Adcock, to confirm.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 22. The touchdown's good. The 15-yard penalty will carry over to the kickoff.
I think that speaks to the tradition and history that we have. And I think that's, the home team got on the board there, so that's good.
And a guy who knows all about getting in the end zone, Owen Kosinski. He had 23 catches a year ago. 8 of them were for touchdowns, and Tyree Adams, his 2nd TD toss of the game, and here late in the third quarter. Western Carolina with their third score of the night. And as we take another look, again, Adams, the guy doesn't look that big, but he's got the good vision, and he's got a great weapon in Kosinski. Western Carolina will have better days this year, and that's always good when you have a big tight end. I know you saw a lot of that in the MAC against not only MAC schools, but some of the big Western schools. They always seem to have a tight end for those who don't run the all-out spread offense.
And they can take that over to next week as they try to, sharpen their tools, sharpen their skills, so they can still make a run in this conference, because it's a long season.
Tyree Adams a year ago got to the end zone on rushing touchdowns 10 times, and he's got his first TD of this 2019 campaign. As Adams able to punch it in and get his team a little bit closer. Johnson had that 64-yard touchdown run in the opening half of play in the second quarter as the Bears built that 42-14 lead at the intermission against his former teammate, his longtime friend, and his former coaching colleague on the same staff, Clay Hendricks, who's the head coach of the Furman Paladins. So that should be a heck of a game, and that'll be one of those early markers to get a gauge how good Furman might be, pick second in the conference, or maybe how much better than people believe this Mercer team will be in the year ahead. And over 100 yards on the night for Johnson, the updated number, 113. He averaged 11.3 a carry, so he'll end up with a 100-yard night, the redshirt freshman in his first collegiate game. And that'll be the final snap. Mark Spear in Western Carolina, they had high hopes of snapping their season-ending 8-game losing streak from 2018 and getting out of the gate in 2019 with a victory. But after falling behind 14-0, cutting that to a 14-7 deficit in the opening quarter, Bobby Lamb, as he shakes his friend and colleague Mark Spear's hand, Bobby Lamb's Mercer Bears took control of this game, put the pedal down, built a big lead at the half, and they roll on to a fourth consecutive win in this series.
Yeah, and they didn't look back after they got that lead, Pete. So you're right. There's a lot of things to go back. Weston's going to go back to the drawing board, see what they're going to look and see what worked, what didn't work, and try to fix that while it's still early in the year. But Mercer, you got to feel good if you're Mercer. They had a lot of good things working for them, both running and throwing the ball. The defense played great with containing Tyree Adams. So if I'm Mercer, I'm feeling pretty good. Coach Lamb, they're going to get back on the bus, head back to Georgia, and see how they can get to work for next week.